Whoop whoop when you run, come around, till I have the talk of the town. Whoop whoop when you run, come around, till I have the talk of the town. I have the talk of the town. I have the talk of the town. Whoop when you run, come around. Whoop when you run, come around, till I have the talk of the town. Whoop when you run, come around. Whoop when you run, come around, till I have the talk of the town.
Listen up, here's a story about a little guy that lives in a blue world. And all day and all night and everything he sees is just blue like him. Inside and outside, look at his house with a blue little window and a blue Corvette. And everything is blue for him and himself and everybody around. You see, he got nobody to listen. I'm blue, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die. I'm blue, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die. I'm blue, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die. I have a blue house with a blue window. Blue is the color of all that I wear. Yeah. Blue all the streets and all the trees are too. I have a girlfriend and she is so blue. Blue are the people where they walk around. Blue like my Corvette is sitting outside. Blue are the words I say and wanna think. Blue are the feelings that live inside me. I'm blue, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die. I'm blue, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die. I'm blue, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die. I'm blue, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die.
Mr. Saxoby. You make me dance, bring me up, bring me down. Play it with, make me move like a freak. Mr. Saxoby makes me dance, brings me up, brings me down. Plays it with, makes me move like a freak. Mr. Saxo, Mr. Saxo, Mr. Saxo.
Hey sexy boy, set me free. Don't be so shy, play with me. My dirty boy, can't you see that you belong next to me? Hey sexy boy, set me free. Don't be so shy, play with me. My dirty boy, can't you see?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Mr. Saxo, yeah, 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 yeah. Mr. Saxo, you make me dance, bring me up, bring me down. Play it with, make me move like a freak. Mr. Saxo, makes me dance, brings me up, brings me down. Plays it sweet, makes me move like a freak. Mr. Saxo.
Hey sexy boy, set me free. Don't be so shy, play with me. Hey sexy boy, set me free. Don't be so shy, play with me. My dirty boy, can't you see that you belong next to me? Hey sexy boy, set me free. Don't be so shy, play with me. My dirty boy, can't you see?
You are the one I need. Make me dance, bring me up, bring me down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You make me dance, bring me up, bring me down. Play it with, make me move like a freak. Yeah, it's just like so big.
Sexy guy, and all the boys don't know how to act. I think it's special what's behind your back. turn around and I'll pick up the slack. Come here, girl. Come to the back. VIP. Drinks on me. Let me see what you're twerking with. Look at those hips. You make me smile. Go ahead, child. I'm bringing sexy back, 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 bringing sexy back. Them other boys don't know how to act. I think it's special what's behind your back. So turn around and I'll pick up the slack. Come here, girl. Come to the back. VIP. Drinks on me. Let me see what you're twerking with. Look at those hips. You make go ahead, child. I'm bringing sexy back, 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 bringing sexy back. Come here, girl. Come to the back. VIP. Drinks on me. Let me see what you're twerking with. Look at those hips. You make me smile. Go ahead, child. Get your sexy on. Get your sexy on. Get your sexy on. I'm bringing sexy back, 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 bringing sexy
Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? I travel the world and the seven seas. Everybody's looking for something. Sweet, sweet dreams, dreams of this. Who am I to disagree? Sweet, sweet dreams, dreams of this. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to get used by you. Some of them want to abuse you. Some of them want to be abused. Hold your head up. Keep your head up, moving on. Hold your head up, moving on. Keep your head up, moving on. Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? I travel the world and the seven seas. Everybody's looking for something. Sweet dreams, dreams of this. Who am I to disagree? Sweet, sweet dreams, dreams of this. Who am I to disagree? Hold your head up. Keep your head up, moving on. Hold your head up, moving on. Keep your head up, moving on. On. Sweet, sweet dreams, dreams of this. Who am I to disagree? Sweet, sweet dreams, dreams of this. Who am I to disagree?
I wanna fight 'em out. A 7-nation army couldn't hold me back. They're gonna rip it off, taking that time right behind my back. And I'm talking to myself at night because I can't forget. I can fall through my mind behind a secret. And the message coming from my eyes. And the message coming from my eyes, I'm gonna fight them all. A seven nation army couldn't hold me back. And I'm talking to myself at night because I can't focus. I can fall through my mind behind a cigarette. And the message coming from my eyes. And the message coming from my eyes. And the message coming from my eyes.
Alors on danse, alors on danse, alors on danse, alors on danse, alors qui dit études dit travail, qui dit taf te dit les thunes, qui dit argent dit dépenses, qui dit crédit dit créance, qui dit dette te dit huissier, qui dit assis dans la merde, qui dit amour dit les gosses, dit toujours et dit divorce, qui dit proche te dit deuil car les problèmes ne viennent pas seuls, qui dit crise te dit monde et dit famine et dit tiers-monde, et qui dit fatigue dit réveil, encore sourd de la veille, alors on sort pour oublier tous les problèmes, alors on chante. Alors on chante. Et puis seulement quand c'est fini, alors on danse. Alors on danse. Alors on danse. Alors on danse. Et puis seulement quand c'est fini, alors on danse.
Why you always in the mood? Baby, I better with a view. Why you always in the mood? Baby, I can see better with a view. Why you always in the mood? Baby, I better with a view. Why you always in the mood? Baby, I can see better with a view. I can never get attached, but I start to feel unattached. Somehow I always end up feeling bad. Baby, I'm not your dad. It's not all you want from me. I just want your company. God, it's obvious, elephant in the room. I'm a part of it, don't act so confused. You done started it, now I'm in the mood. Now we're arguing in my bedroom. We play games of love to avoid the depression. We've been here before, I don't wanna be a victim. Why you always in the mood? Fucking around, it's brand new. I ain't trying to tell you what to do, but try to play it cool. Baby, I ain't playing by your rules. Every single better with a view. Why you always in the mood? Fucking around, it's brand new. I ain't trying to tell you what to do, but try to play it cool. Baby, I ain't playing by your rules. Every single better with a view. Why you always in the mood? Baby, I better with a view. Why you always in the mood? Baby, I can see the better with a view. Why you always in the mood? Baby, I better with a view. Why you always in the mood? Baby, I can see the better with a view. So when you try to fake your love on the regular, when you could be blowing up inside my cellular, I won't ever let a shorty go and set me up. Only thing I need to know is if you had enough. I'm talking slick back, kick back, gang, sipping 40s. You keep playing not another game with you shorty. Mismatch fits, that was way before you know me. Got a lot of love, well you better save it for me. Play games of love to avoid the depression. We've been here before and I won't be a victim. Why you always in the mood? Fucking around like the brand new. I ain't trying to tell you what to do, but you gotta play it cool. Maybe I ain't playing by your rules. Every single better with a view. Why you always in the mood? Fucking around like the brand new. I ain't trying to tell you what to do, but you gotta play it cool. Maybe I ain't playing by your rules. Every single better with a view. Why you always in the mood? Maybe I ain't better with a view. Why you always in the mood? Maybe I ain't better with a view. Maybe I ain't better with a view. Why you always in the mood? Maybe I ain't better with a view.
Relax, take your time, and take your time to trust in me, and you will find infinity. The time goes by so naturally while you receive infinity. Here's my key, philosophy. A freak like me just needs infinity. The time goes by so naturally while you receive the time goes by. Relax, take your time. Infinity, and take your time to trust in me, and you will find infinity. The time goes by so naturally while you receive infinity.
What do we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? What do we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises early in the morning. In the morning. What do we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? What do we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Early in the morning. In the morning. Put him in a longboat till he's sober. Put him in a longboat till he's sober. Put him in a longboat till he's sober early in the morning. Put him in a bed with the captain's daughter. Put him in the bed with the captain's daughter. Put him in the bed with the captain's daughter early in the morning. Way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she rises early in the morning. Way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she rises early in the morning. What do we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Early in the morning. What do we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? What do we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Early in the morning. Early in the morning.
I'm winning. It's still there. Has a roll. Has a roll. Has a
Yep, I can hear you. Find it muted if it's talking. Yeah, sure. I'm just looking forward for a good event because you guys have put in so much energy, and I know AI gaming has a lot, to share from, learning basic Python's functions, to JSON and, the cloud and everything. So really like, it's 4 hours event and it's such, a great way to learn many things within one day. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I'll just be at the background, observing what goes on.
Hi everyone. Sorry, I was on mute. Um, so I'll just be taking you guys through a short tour. Let me share my screen. Yes, that's what I'm trying to do. It's still loading. Just give me 1 second. Okay, you can try from your side too. Yeah, still loading. Okay. All right. Okay, thank you. Okay, I think I can't really see much from my side, but if you can just zoom in a bit. But on the site itself, so on your far right, you will see that you've logged in and your username is being assigned if you already registered on the or registered your profile on the website. And then we'll just go through our tabs. So the AI gaming, where the word in there, they're also clickable, which will just get you straight to the homepage that we are at right now. And then on the games tab, we have different games that are offered there. But the ones that it has already been mentioned, it's the match game, which is the one we're gonna be playing today. And then we also have the editor, whereby we'll be using it for like for our code, the Python code. Yeah, so that will also be explained as we go through. And also we have, we also have our About Us news there, and then we also have my account. So on my account, you can view your account, as in, you know, you can edit your contact details and so forth. So on the dashboard tab, you can see where, like, which event you've actually registered for there. Yeah, so there's literally like different tabs underneath there, and also the board management, certificate, progress, marketplace, and so forth. So that's just generally the, you know, like the contact that you can find on the website. So, and then lastly, the help tab, which you can in general find everything about the AI game. So yeah, that will be explained next. So yeah, that's basically it.
So now I will share my screen. Okay. Can just for checking, can everyone see my screen? Okay, great. So now I will play a video that to introduce all of you about match game events. So just checking, can you hear?
Hello, my name is Stephen, and I'm the...
Oh, great. So now I just play the video.
COO at AI Gaming. I'm going to introduce you to the AI gaming platform so that you can start developing game-playing code as quickly as possible. The game that we're going to play at this event is the match game. It's based on the pairs game, where you have a set of tiles and you lay them out in a grid face down. Then you choose 2 tiles at a time in the hope that the tiles will match. If they don't match, you turn them back over and you have to remember where they are so that you can match them with another tile later on. It's a simple game, but we've made it much more challenging. First, none of our tiles is going to be the same as any other. You're not going to be able to simply look for 2 identical tiles and match them. Instead, you're going to have to understand what the content of each tile is, and then you can match tiles that have the same content. This is where the power of the Microsoft Cognitive API comes in. This collection of tools from Microsoft is part of their machine learning API that allows developers to add features to programs like facial, speech, and vision recognition, emotion and video detection, and speech and language understanding. The goal of the Microsoft Cognitive API is to help developers create applications that can see, hear, speak, understand, and even begin to reason. In our game, we'll use some of these functions to understand what the content of each tile we turn over is. The matching tiles on this board are our elephants, an adult and a baby elephant. They are very different images, but we can easily recognize that these are both the same animal. And if we use Microsoft's Cognitive API correctly, we can get our code to recognize that the content of these 2 images is the same. It should easily be able to recognize the other matching images that we have on this board. We have 2 very different pictures of the Taj Mahal and 2 very different pictures of Sydney Opera House. These images still match in our game because the content of the image is the same. Your goal at the event is to write code that can play this game. Our game manager will give you information about the current state of the game, and you will need to calculate which move you want to make next. Effectively, which two tiles you want to turn over next, either because you already know that the two tiles match, or to reveal new tiles so that you can analyze the images on them and store the information to match future tiles. Before we discuss the process anymore, I'll show you how this all comes together so that you can start to get a feel for how simple the process is. This all happens on the aigaming.com site. You need to register for an AI Gaming account and log in. Registering is very quick. You don't need to give many details, and you're logged in straight away. Once logged in, you can be playing your first game in just a few clicks. You simply need to go to the editor page by choosing the editor option from the menu, and then select Match Game from the Game Type drop-down. Everything is preloaded so that you can play a complete game immediately. We can do that just by pressing the Run button at the top right of the editor window. And that's it. You're playing your first version of the match game. So that's going to be our challenge for this event. There are more introductory and explanatory videos to follow this, so check them out to learn more. Thank you.
So just for checking, if everyone understands the video, can you give me a thumbs up so that I know everyone's understand? If not, I will play the videos again. How about others? Can I see more thumbs up? Okay, great. So I assume that everyone understands the video. So now I will pass it to Risha to talk about how to create an Azure account.
Yes, I am registered as a student.
Yes, I'm also registered. Yes, I'm also registered as a student.
Yes, we can.
Thank you so much. All right. Hey everyone. Hope you're having a great time. All right. So this is Rishabh live from Mumbai, India. And right now I'm going to give you a short demo on how you can quickly create your own custom vision API keys. Why do you need those API keys? Because if you're going to code your own bots, definitely you need to have some cognitive advantage over your side, and Azure is going to provide you that. So, and to connect your bots with Azure, you need those API keys so that basically your bot can communicate with Azure servers and they can take advantage of the Azure's cognitive abilities. All right, so less talking, more work. Let me quickly share my screen. Give me a second. All right. I'm still waiting for it to load, and hopefully it should be visible to you now. Is let me Amazing. All right. So as you can see, I am on the Azure portal. It's just the first page that opens up whenever you log into the portal. So to create a custom vision API key, we are going to click on this icon which says create a resource. So basically anything you create, any API or any virtual machine, or basically anything you create in Azure is basically known as a resource. So that's a naming convention you should be aware of. Over here, we are going to type computer. It's just super quick. And once you type that, you will see there's this option, computer vision. Just click on it. And over here you get on the screen. All you have to do is just once again, and I think it's too small. I believe it's too small, and you may not be able to see it. I hope it's. I think it's too big now. Okay. I think this one is really good. All right. Okay, so next, what you have to do is click on this create. Perfect. Then you get to this. Basically, this is a form which you have to uh, fill, or basically a form, in order to create a resource. So the first thing is going to ask is your subscription. What subscription is good? Because these keys are not free. Let me remind you again, these keys are not free. They are so powerful, so definitely they're going to cost something. Okay, so they are basically asking what subscription would you like to use to charge for this API key. So currently I'm using my enterprise subscription, which I get as a student ambassador. You might be using your institutional subscription, so keep pick accordingly. Okay. Next, it is asking about a user group. So you may already have a user group which you may use, but in case you don't have one already, you can create a new one. Basically, resource group is nothing. It's just a group of resource. So you need to basically what do you call it, to manage and organize it more manage and organize it more easily. Next up, we have region. Now, for me, since I'm currently in India, and for me, particularly West Europe is the closest one. But since some of you might be from South Africa, so I suspect you may have to pick the region which is closest to your location, so that you get the best speed. Okay, so currently, as per my location, West Europe is the best pick. Next, we have to give it some name. Now, this is you're allowed to pick any name over here. Let me quickly uh, call it maybe AI gaming. Okay, I'm just typing a random name. Feel free to use anything. It doesn't really matter. Okay, I'm getting some warnings, but it's already in news. Okay, looks like this one is already in news. So yeah, maybe. Okay, I'm not supposed to have this underscore. Oh, cool. Okay, this one is acceptable. Next is asking about the pricing tier. You can go for uh, free one as well, but I highly recommend to go for the standard S1 pricing tier because it's just faster. It's going to make your bot way faster. And for this particular event, I think we don't expect you to create your own API keys. We'll be providing you uh, with API keys which are already from standard S1. So don't worry, they are going to be fast enough for you to easily win it. Okay, this is just a quick demo of how things are done in the real life, just in case you ever got your hands on Azure and you want to create your own API keys. Okay. Now you are supposed to check this box. So you're basically agreeing to the terms. Then you just click on review and create. Now it's going to take some time. Okay, it says validation failed, required information is missing or not valid. Let me quickly go through what oh, I forgot to pick resource group. My bad. Let me create a new one. Let's call it AI gaming. See, I'm just again picking up a random name, but feel free to choose anyone. Let me go ahead and do it again, and hopefully this time it should not give me any error. But one thing you notice over here, that how straightforward it is. I mean, there is no annoying setup. It's basically asking you some simple questions and it's ready. Okay, now we have to create click on this create button once again. Over here, as you can see, it's showing and pop-up which says deployment in progress. So our computer vision API keys are being deployed, and perfect, it's done. Let's go to the resource. All right, okay, so basically our API keys are ready to use. So what we're going to do over here, we are going to go on this section which says keys and endpoints. This is where our API keys are actually stored. So going over here, you can see this is our keys. This is what we are looking for. So you can just copy them. You are given two keys, so you can regenerate them through this, but you don't really have to. You will be given two keys. If you want more, you have to create another endpoint. You have to create another one. Okay. So basically, this is how you create, and then you can copy it, you can paste it, and you are pretty much good to go. All right. So yeah, and one good thing I just wanted to remind you that don't share these API keys with anyone, because these keys are actually secret. Yeah, try to keep them secret, because you never share API keys with anyone unless you trust them, because it may result in some issues and making yeah, so it may increase your Azure subscription charges, and you don't want that to happen. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is how you do it, and always let me know if you have any questions. Although we'll be providing you keys, but this is something nice to know. Okay, so yeah, I hope you like it, and that's pretty much it. And yeah, once again, always let me know if you have any problems. Okay, so let me stop sharing my screen, and let the event forward.
We are still following.
Yeah, sure. Just to double confirm, this one. Okay. Sure.
In this video, I'm going to explain how you develop your code to play the match game on the AIgaming.com site. The AI Gaming Game Manager will call your code whenever it is your turn to make a move in the game. It sends you all of the information about the current state of the game, and you return the move that you want to make. I'm going to explain where and how you do this using the online code editor on the AIgaming.com site. Let's get started. This video assumes you've created a computer vision API key on the Azure Cognitive Services site. You'll need a key in order to run the code. There are instructions on how to get a computer vision API key on the AIgaming.com help pages. To start, we'll go to the editor page, make sure that we have the match game type selected, and then create a new file based on the simple random template code. And that's all I need to do. I can run the code and play a complete game. The code in this editor window contains everything that is required to play a very simple game. So where do we start if we want to improve how our bot plays? The entry point into our game playing code is the calculate move function, where we need to do just that, calculate the next move we want to make in the game. Calculate move acts like our main function. We can call other functions from this, but primarily it is here that you can control your bot and add your strategy. The calculate move function will be called by our game manager every time that it needs you to make a move in the game. It's going to be called many times during each game that you play. Each time calculate move is called, it will be sent all of the information about the current state of the game, and it will need to return the move that you want to make next in the game. We can see in this calculate move function that it receives a parameter, the game state. This is the information that tells you everything about the current state of the game, what type of move it is, what any playing boards currently look like, what types of pieces are on the boards, and more. We need all of this game state information because our calculate move function doesn't remember any information between moves unless we explicitly tell it to do so. This is why we're sent the complete game state every time we're asked to make a move in the game. It also has to return a JSON object, which represents the move you want to make in the game. A move in the match game will be the numbers of the two tiles you want to turn over and hope to match. I've saved a copy of the game state JSON object that the calculate move function receives in a text file so that we can take a look at it. You can see the structure of the information and all of the fields it contains. This JSON is a full representation of the current state of the game, so there's lots of information in it. A fuller description of each field can be found on the help pages for the match game or under the book icon on the editor page. We can go to the programmer's reference page for the match game. The main field in the game state that you will be concerned with is upturned tiles. This list contains the contents of the two tiles that you have chosen to turn over. You'll need to analyze the images on these tiles using the computer vision API. Having received the game state information and decided on our move, we return that move as another JSON object. I've saved a copy of the move JSON object so that we can take a look at it. A move will be a list of the two tiles that we want to turn over next in the game. The JSON here shows that our tiles list contains the numbers of the two tiles that we want to turn over. And there is more information about the move object under the book icon in the online code editor. That is the framework of how games are played. The game manager calls calculate move and passes it the current state of the game as a JSON object. Calculate move must then return a JSON object that states the move it wants to make in the game. This repeats until the game ends because someone wins or because the game times out in some way. For the match game, we've provided another template with examples of how to use the Microsoft API. I can create a new file using the Microsoft API template code under the New button at the top of the screen. We'll need to add the Microsoft Computer Vision API key, and I've stored a temporary API key in another file here so that I can quickly add one to the template code. Again, the help pages on the AI Gaming site give more information about how to get a computer vision key. The version of the match game that we will play needs you to identify 3 different categories of information. The images on the tiles can either be animals, they can be landmarks, or the tile images can contain words. This template code file contains all of the code needed to identify and match tiles with animals on them. You can then use this as an example to help you extend the code to identify and match landmarks and to identify and match words. Although this template code plays a basic game, we've added lots of comments to explain how it operates and to suggest what should be added to improve the code's performance and win rate. Now that you know that the calculate move function is the main function called by our game manager every time it's your turn to make a move, you should work through the code to understand how it plays the game. Once you are familiar with how it matches animals, your first step should be to replicate this to match landmarks and then words. There are other videos in this series that explain more about how to add landmark and text matching. That's it for this introduction to how to code your game playing bot. There are more videos in this series, so please make sure to check them out. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, we can see it. click on the drop down button on the run side. Oh no, the drop down button, yes, you can see that.
Yes, yes, thank you.
No, nothing from me.
hold that. Steady calling my phone. Hold it before, leave me alone. Always hurting you to see me gone. Steady calling my phone. Hold it before, leave me alone. Always hurting you to see me gone. I wanna run the world, I explore, no door and no bitch. I'ma drop her in the aura, that's fat. Straight heat, no Florida. Bad and she know it for herself, I person this make no more. Yeah, I'm talking times over in the rain, I'm on. Tell me what I'm through. And it's so cause what you started, I've been told you I won't lose.
Get you off of my mind now. Get you off of my mind now. Get you off of my mind now. Get you off of my Get you off of my mind now. Get you off of my mind now. Get you off of my mind now. Get you off of my mind. Get you off of my mind now. Get you off of my mind now. Get you off of my mind now. Get you off of my
Steady calling my phone. Hold it before. Steady calling my phone. Hold it before. Steady calling my phone.
Get lost in the sound, go back to the start. Let's go out of the dark. To the light, lost in the sound, into the light now. To the light, lost in the sound, into the light now. To the light, lost in the sound, into the light now. To the light, lost in the sound, into the light now.
Just a quick one here. Is there any participant about the video
Yes, we can speak.
Yeah, is there any participants here apart from you, the organizers?
Feel like no.
Exited. Okay. Yeah. So actually, I think then it's good. It's good I can have this conversation with you guys. So usually we look forward to have like I think how many 16 minimum people to count it as a successful event. That's why we spend much time on it. It's rather unfortunate that just like the 3 other events we tried to pull off, this seem not to have worked as well. We haven't gotten the number that we expect, and so I think the most important part is that I wouldn't want to you guys to stay on the call, and because the numbers are not forthcoming, but it's okay. I mean, this is where we learn in life, when to call off and when to go ahead. These are like life and practical things that happen. By the way, I admire your Windows 7, your Windows 11, UI over there. That's good. That's good. Yeah. So I think the best we can do right now is to call up the event if you guys agree with me. 4 hours is such a long window, and already we can see that it's not worth we being on the call for the next couple of hours. Yeah. Or what do you guys think? Exactly. So what I'm gonna do, we should collaborate on more events coming forth, and then try raise more publicity in our subsequent ones. Yeah, but let's not waste much of our times. It's understanding. Sometimes events don't work out, sometimes they work out. Yeah. So there's nothing to stress about. I'll just make sure to let our team at AI Gaming know, how you all pull through. You pull through all this while, and but then we couldn't just get the numbers today. Yeah, but I think that's mostly about it. Yeah. Any last words from any of you before we all drop off? Okay. Yes. So yeah, that's what I need to say. You guys really did very good. Like, I mean, from the intro and passing it to one after the other, it's good because it makes attendees, listen to different voice. They don't get bored, and there was always a different activities, happening at a point. So I listened to it overall. I think you guys really handled it, on point. Yeah, I think the beginning, maybe I was looking at maybe in the beginning, you can assume that everyone is, like there are beginners on the call, right? Who don't even know what the meaning of AI is, right? So we could take some time to, explain a bit of AI, some possibilities, some things, some trends, and why learning AI is so important. So I think that was the only small part that was missing, but every content and every demonstrations, moderation that you guys had were strictly on point.
Um,
All right, we welcome. You're welcome.
I have a suggestion. I don't know if it's possible, because is it possible maybe to if we are to have another event, to cut off the event in sections, maybe per week, just to cover the 4 hours, because probably people are thinking 4 hours is a lot. And also, you just mentioned that some people are probably new into this thing; they don't even know what an API is, JSON whatsoever. So we can actually touch base on those if like literally explain them in thoroughly. In if we have like and the event for like a month, at least we have the event for a week, but then covering the 4 hours we're supposed to have in one day. Because I'm thinking there's people who generally don't even know anything about code, and then we can literally cover those things in the 4 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. I think some people actually do the same thing. Some people have suggested the same thing. So we are mostly happy if you can, even if you want to spread it over 2 weeks, or even 2 days, maybe 2 hours each day or something, is good, right? If you have like some good idea of spreading it across 3 days, that's the first day for maybe introduction to Python, and maybe second day we talk a bit about AI, and we introduce the AI gaming a bit. And then maybe the third day we have a 2 hours, session. Because you see, if you go through the documentation, you see it's a lot, right? So it's designed to be able to cover in 4 hours, right? And then just to make it a bit competitive, usually that's why we recommend mostly that it should be within the 4 hours, window, and it should be like a hackathon. So people need to be